everyone. I'm back again. Please, I'm waiting for you guys to come on. 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 Please join me. I'm gonna. Well, I'm almost done with my skincare. I've already put on my tretinoin, so I'm just gonna put on my moisturizer. Hi, thank you, my sweetie. Thank you, Annie Del. Thank you. How are you? So I was live before, but YouTube rules, like I'm still learning this. I'm learning the ropes, so I think I used some words that made YouTube just you know so I have to re-strategize and use the right words. How are you? You're good. Good to know that you're good. Thank you for joining. So I've started my skincare already. I've applied my threads, but I was talking today about how my heart is heavy, and I was asking what is happening in the. It wasn't Yinks. It's not network. I know what happened. YouTube just because I was saying some things. So my heart is heavy. That's why I'm here this night. My heart is heavy because of what is happening in the US. Most of us know what is happening. Just a couple of weeks ago, some children were unalived at their school while they were praying at the start of the school term. And then while you're recovering from that, some days ago, a lady on the tube was unalived, right? Which rings home to me because I go on the train often, and I know that most of us here do. Imagine the fear, imagine our feelings, our last moments. And while you think, okay, that has gone, yesterday another person, a right-wing politician, was unalived, right? And just when you think, what is happening in this world? Hi, Erlene. Thank you for joining. If you're new here, please subscribe to my channel. I just do skincare and I talk, I ramble. So while you're thinking about that, today there was another unalivement of some kids at school. And you ask yourself, what is happening in the United States of America? What is happening? What is happening? Not just the United States of America. What is happening in society? You have been following. Hi, Matt. Yes, very sad. I don't really know him, but I've watched a couple of his videos. And whilst I do not agree with everything he says, I agree with some of the things he says. I do not think that whatever anybody has done is enough to unalive them. Ellen, Monte Blanco, where is that? Is that in France? Hi, Ellen, where are you from? Quint, is that France? It would be nice to have someone from France. I haven't had anyone from France. So I do not think whatever anyone has done is enough to unalive them. It's not enough to snuff out their existence. What about their loved ones? Everybody has a loved one. What about their families? What about their children? What about their friends? What about their aspirations? What about their goals? What about their fear? I listened to someone say something today, and they said things will always change, but humanity is still humanity. What does that mean? Humans will always be humans. Humans have feelings. Humans have emotions. Humans have needs. The same feelings, emotions, needs have always been human. So humans back in the day, 100 years ago, had the same feelings, the same emotions, the same needs like the humans now in 2025. So what happened to our humanity? It burdens my heart. It's scary. And I don't want to dwell on fear. I don't want to become so self-conscious and be in fear where I can't live my life. And I'm sure that so many of you out there do want to live your life in fear. Ellen, you said I don't have to worry about it. Don't I? Tell me more. I don't. I live in the UK, mind you, and we don't have this kind of situations. But I know people, I have friends, I have family that live in the US, and it's worrying. So anything if you say I don't have to worry about it, tell me more. So my heart is just heavy, and I'm like, what's happening? What's happening in the world? There's this musician, this music band I used to listen to, Black Eyed Peas, and there was this song. Um, what's the song? What happened to the world? Where is the love, the love, the love? Where is the love in the world? I think people have been preaching love so much in the past, and maybe now we're not preaching love anymore. Maybe now a lot of people are preaching division. Maybe more people need to come out and preach love. Hi Tasmia Khan, where are you from? Where is the love? Thank you, Matt. Thank you, honey. Thank you. Where is the love? Where is the love, the love, the love? Where is the love? I think there's so much negative messaging out there. There's so much division. There's so much separation. There's so much we versus you, they versus us. There's so much, this is what makes you different. There's so much right wing, left wing, and we forget that we are all human. At the end of the day, at the bottom of it all, when you're in your room, when you're on your pillow, you are human. You have your emotions, you have needs, you have wants, you have the things that makes you human, which is unique to every human on the face of the earth. Yes. Whether they live in the UK, or they live in Montana, or they live in Colorado, or they live in North Carolina, or they live in New Zealand, or they live in France, or in India, or in Nigeria, in South Africa. Every human has the need for love, the need to be respected. Every person wants to be loved. Everybody wants to be treated with respect and appreciation, irrespective of our skin color, our ideology, what we stand for. So I believe that people need to preach more positive content. We need people out there preaching positivity, preaching love, preaching tolerance, preaching acceptance. Hi Tanzania, where are you from, Tanzania? If you are new here, please subscribe to my channel. Please subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Yeah. So we need more positive message out there, and that is what I'm here to do. I want to be a bringer of good news. There's so much negativity. God, there's so much negativity. You turn on the news, it's one thing or the other. Something is happening in Gaza, something is happening in Ukraine, something is happening in Qatar, something is happening in Congo. It's happening everywhere. Sad news everywhere. Can we hear some good news, please? Can we hear some good news, please? So, let me talk about something else. This is actually a topic that a friend sent to me. Hi, Eric and Amy. So is that two persons or is that one person with two names? Hi, Eric and Amy. If you're new here, please subscribe to my channel. I do skincare and I talk a lot. I ramble. Yeah, me and my bestie. Oh, so you're logged in together. All right. So let's talk about something else. This is a topic that a friend sent to me and she said, why don't you talk about it? Amy, Erica is my bestie. Hi, both of you. Yeah. So please subscribe to my channel. Let's talk about something else. Let's talk about adult friendships. Drum roll. Yeah. Let's talk about adult friendships. So I listened to a podcast yesterday. It's called The Millennial Mind. And that podcast was introduced to me by a colleague at work yesterday. And on that podcast, there was a speaker who was talking about friendships. And it just tied into this topic. Why is adult friendship so difficult? My friend asked me to ask these questions to the world. And I think I need to ask her why she's asking that question. Why is adult friendship so difficult? Why is it easier for kids to make friends? Amy and Erica, you could help me here. I think this is just spot on because you said she's your bestie. So I'd really like to know, did you become friends as adults or did you become friends when you were younger? And you've said she's your bestie. What makes your friendship thick? What makes your friendship work? So while I'm waiting for Amy and Erica to respond, why is adult friendship difficult? If you ask me, you've been friends, besties since you were 10 and now you're 21. Wow. So you've been besties for the past 11 years. Now, can you tell us more, Erica and Amy? How have you navigated, before you continue, where are you chatting from? And then how have you navigated your friendships? Can you tell us more? Because I want to learn. And I want people who are watching to learn as well, and because this is going to be on my channel, and I want people who will come back to the channel to learn as well. Right, so I think that adult friendship it's been hard for us. We argue 24/7. Okay, that's normal. You argue. So how do you resolve it when you argue? How do you resolve it when you argue or when you have arguments? When you have arguments or when you have misunderstanding, how do you resolve it? So I think that adult friendships are difficult because as adults, we are complicated. Our needs are complicated. And that's one. Two, we are constrained with time. Three, we evolve. It's hard for us. Erica's English, but I'm Norwegian. But when we argue, we just stay quiet for a bit to finally talking as if nothing happened. All right. So Erica's English and you're Norwegian. Are you in Norway or are you in the UK? And when you say you're Norwegian, do you speak English? Tell me more. All right. So I think that adult friendships are complicated because of, one, we are complicated as humans. Two, we have lots of constraints, including time constraints. Three, communication skills. Four, we are set in our ways and we don't want to change. Five, we evolve. Like, I find that it's harder to make friends as adults because for me, I don't have a lot of friends. So when I make a friend, I like to make tangible friendships. When I say tangible, I don't mean you have to do something for me, you have to give me something. I mean, I don't want a big circle. I like a close, small circle where we can be comfortable with each other, we can be sincere with each other, we can rebuke each other, and we can help each other grow. And those are the things for me. And someone who is not an extrovert, who doesn't make friends easily, it's really hard finding the right people to be in that circle. And because I don't click with people easily, but when my spirit calls to someone and I make the effort, and is Erica and Amy say, I'm in Norway right now. I've learned English over the past 5 years, so I'm good at it. Okay. All right. So this is now, I don't know which chatting. Erica's English is English. So I believe this is Erica saying she's in Norway. Okay, no, this is Amy. Amy is Norwegian and Erica is English. So Amy has learned English and she's in Norway right now. Hi Chinelo, hi darling. So the topic for today, and I hope, thank you Erica and Amy, thank you. So you've been friends for 11 years, that's commendable. So the topic is, Why are adult friendships difficult? And this is a topic that a friend asked me to ask, right? So in my last video, she dropped a comment and she said, can you talk about adult friendships? And I'm like, whoa, I'm the wrongest person here, but I'll try. I'll bring it to the forum. I'll bring it to, the people on my channel, my community, and let people just talk about it. So luckily for us today, we have Erica and Amy, who are 21 and they've been friends for the past 10 years. They became friends when they were 11 years. They became friends when they were 10, and now they're still friends. You're alone right now. We started to argue. Okay, so why are adult friendships difficult? For me, like I was saying, I said adult friendships are difficult because we are complicated people. One, as adults, kids are not as complicated as we are. We are complicated in terms of emotions. Two, we are constrained in terms of time and other resources. Three, we are ever evolving. And four, what did I say? I can't remember what I said. But let's just go with those three, right? We are complicated, we are constrained, and three, we are ever evolving. And when I say as adults we are complicated, our emotions are complicated. We go through different emotions through the day. Even in one day, you can go through different emotions. How much more through the week or through the month or through the cycle of that friendship, right? And one thing that plays is in the midst of that complicated emotion, you don't know where the other person is at, right? And so you let your emotion or whatever is going on take over, and the other person may not be at the same headspace with you, and then things just get out of hand. And what I find most times, especially for people like me who don't keep lots of friends, because I get invested in friendships. So when I have a friend, I am emotionally invested in you, in your life, whatever is happening around you. I am emotionally invested. Thank you. You argued about cats. Okay, you cat lovers. You love my voice. Thank you. I've been told my voice is soothing. Like you could sleep off of my voice. What do you think? Yes, so I get emotionally invested, and so when I get emotionally invested, I don't keep a big circle of friends, no. But the little friends I have, I get emotionally invested in you, in your family, in what's happening around you, and I expect you to be emotionally invested in me, right? So maybe it has to do with my personality, maybe it has to do with my zodiac. I'm a Cancerian, so my emotions run deep. Like when I get rooted, and I come as I am. So you see me, that's me. There's no airs around me. If I spoke in a life, you only hear my accent. Doesn't matter. Everyone has an accent. Everyone has an accent. I have an accent. So everyone has an accent. That's the beauty of variety, right? So I get emotionally invested and I expect it. Yeah. So I would give you my time. I would give you my finances if I can. I would give you my emotions, but I expect you to give me the same, right? So that is where my runs deep. My emotions, I'm like a tree, bamboo. I go deep into the soil, right? So because I go deep, I can't spread. If that correlation is right, I can't spread. But I expect you, if I'm going deep for you, I expect you to go deep for me. So the problem is if you do not reciprocate what I'm giving, then I pull back. Erica and Amy, what's my accent? I don't know. What do you think? You guess. Can you guess what my accent is? Can you guess? Now, on the other hand, there are people who do not go deep in their friendships. Oh, you got a Cancer. Thank you for joining, Erica and Amy. Please subscribe to my channel. Please subscribe to my channel. Thank you. I hope some other time we can catch on. Bye and enjoy your concert. Bye. Yeah. So my emotions run deep. I go deep, right? But there are people, and it's not a bad thing. They can be friends, but they spread wide. They spread their friendship wide. They do not, so that means they can have lots of friends. They don't have to be deeply invested in your life. They can just be surface, like they're not deeply rooted in what's happening in your life. They don't want to be fully involved. They just want to be at the surface level, and that's good for them. But that's not me, right? So the podcast I listened to, what I learned from that podcast is you have to identify the kind of person you are, and then you have to identify the expectations you want from that friendship, and maybe you have to lay it bare. You have to lay it bare. This is who I am. I like you. I like your vibes. I think we can gel. I think we can be good friends, but these are my expectations. And then the other person will do the same. But the problem is we are very bad at communication. We are very bad at resolving conflicts. I inclusive. I'm not very good at communicating. I'm not very good at resolving conflict, and it's something I want to learn, and it's something I want to grow, because you can't keep dumping friendships. You can't keep dumping friendships. If there is something that can be revived or resolved from that friendship, if it's a good friendship and you feel there's a chance I still want to be friends, there's a chance I want to revive, do all you can to revive it. You don't need to, like, if someone hurts you and you just flip. I need to learn that. I am consciously telling myself I need to grow in that area. So you can say that again, Anidel. It's a bit of mix for me. I have a good spread of acquaintances. Thank you. But friends are very few. If I'm not deep and vulnerable with you, apologies, love. Thank you, girl. You got it. You just, everything I've been trying to say, you just summarized. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And I think we tend to use that word loosely. Friends. So now, and I said this to someone recently, I said, now, I'm not going to use that word friend anymore. Oh, that person, oh, she's my colleague. Oh, that person, she's my acquaintance. Let's feel free to call someone what they are. Until recently, thank you. Thank you. Well said, girls. Well said. If I'm not deep and vulnerable with you, you're my acquaintance. Just it. Like, chicken now. I think that's it. If I cannot be deep and vulnerable and laugh and fat, sorry to use that word, fat in your presence without feeling embarrassed, and be my complete true self, we are not friends. We are acquaintances. So, yes, I agree with you, Yinka. I need to use that word lightly. I learned it, and I think I sent this podcast I sent it to you, to Chinelo. I'm not sure if I sent it to you, Yinka. I sent it to a couple of my friends. I had to think, are they my friends? I sent it to a couple of my friends, and I'm like, let's learn to use the right words. One, let's learn to define what we want. Let's learn to manage our expectations. That's another thing. Sometimes our expectations are too high, and if someone is your friend, you need to know their strengths and their weaknesses, right? Like, you have friends that they don't call often, they don't reply text messages, not because they're trying to be malicious or they're trying to undermine you or ignore you. That's just their nature, but they are there for you in other areas. So it would be, and maybe you're the kind of person that likes to text, to call every time, everything that's happening, you do that. So it would be, you have to strike a balance. Like, you have to tell yourself, okay, friend, I like to call, or I like to text, or, but seeing that you are not that kind of person, can we just agree that at least once in a week, let's check in, right? Once in a week, let's check in. So I think we also need to manage expectations. I think these are the things that makes adult friendship difficult. And then let's talk about the fact that confidence is a thing. Like, a lot of people are dealing with confidence and issues in their personal lives, and they project it. Yinka says, I'm vulnerable and God born, so I'm in my shell. I'm not a prayerfully. Yes, my sister, I'm doing that as well. I did that last year. I did that towards the end of last year. And I said, God, I want real friends. Like, I'm at that age now where I need to have my people, my circle. Like, I want people that I can say, this person is not just an acquaintance, this person is a friend. So I prayed and I said, God, if they're not that person for me, it doesn't make them a bad person. Take them away from my life. Like, I am not going to be everybody's cup of tea, right? Some people are not going to like my way, my style, and that's okay. You can't be everybody's cup. If you feel that you need to be everybody's cup of tea, then sorry, you're not living on planet Earth. Everybody's not gonna like you, right? So it's okay. Yes, I've been vulnerable and gone, but I think we've all gone through that phase before. And as I was listening to that podcast, they were talking about how people undermine friendship breakups. It hurts. Friendship breakup, it hurts, especially if you found that you clicked with somebody and something goes wrong and you break up. It hurts deep. It cuts very deep, because you may have a spouse, you may have a family, you may have children, but they cannot replace friends, especially female. I know guys to have the same thing. We used to think that guys, they used to form friendship, but it's not true. Guys also have their friendship. So female friendship, if you have a friendship breakup, it hurts deep, but I think that, like I said earlier, we need to manage our expectations of people. But before you start managing the expectation, you have to make sure that that person you're calling your friend is your friend, sees you as a friend. Because you'll be, hi, Anidel. Hi. Because you'll be wasting your time, your emotions, your energy, if you're investing into a friendship and that person doesn't see you as a friend, sees you as an acquaintance. So make sure before you start investing emotionally, or in terms of time and your spirit and everything, that person sees you as a friend. This year has really brought a lot of clarity with the people in my life. Now I know where everyone belongs, and I'm trying to manage my expectations from anyone so I don't get disappointment. Right on, girl. That is the truth. Managing our expectations. And then like I was talking about confidence, people don't want to be alone, right? And because they don't want to be alone, they want to remain in their comfort zone. They don't want to take those steps that helps them to make more friends. We live in a time of social media, but people have actually become more lonely because of social media, because now we are in our bubbles with our friends. Even when friends hang out or they spend time together, they are scrolling through phones, looking at TikTok, Instagram and Facebook and all the likes. So yeah, people seem to be sociable, right? But they're lonely, right? So we have to actively seek for ways to make friends. That's what I'm trying to say. Maybe take up a new hobby, go to a new place, explore. You might make friends there. True friendship requires vulnerability, consistency, and care. Many adults are simply tired of that is true. It requires, adults are tired 100%. It requires investment. Just the same way you invest in your education, your career, your marriage, your finances, true friendships require investment. I'd rather have one true friend than loads of friends that are emotionally unavailable. That's true. True friendships require lots of investment. You must be able to invest your time. Take time out to check up on each other, to talk to each other, even if it's just a chat. Hey girl, I'm thinking about you, or hey girl, how are you doing? And true friendship requires you listening. In your friendship, don't just talk about yourself. Show interest in the other person. Show interest in what is happening in the other person. Genuine interest in what is happening in the other person's life. Okay. Also, true friendship also requires conflict resolution, which is where a lot of us lack. In a friendship, there will be issues. Why? Because we are all different people. Even twins have issues within themselves. But how do you resolve the conflict? How do you communicate to this person that, oh, I don't like what you did or what you said, it really hurt me, can you don't do that next time? And then also requires taking accountability. Taking accountability that my friend has said what I said to them hurt them, they didn't like it, and genuinely apologize and learn from that. So we've all said, like, I think everybody here is on point this night, right? It requires vulnerability, it requires accountability, it requires effort, it requires prayers. We have to pray about it, you know. It requires doing the work, putting in the work. Like I said earlier, I'm a roots person. I dig deep. Like I'm a, is it a palm tree now? My roots go deep. If I'm say you're my friend, I'm involved. I want to be involved with you. I cannot spread. I cannot be like this. I go deep in to the friendship. I want to be friends with you. I want to know what's happening in your life. I want to know what's happening to your children. I want to know what's happening to your parents. I want to be able to pray with you. I want to be able to have fun with you. I want to be able to have bands with you. I want to be able to have serious conversations. I want to be able to do business together, to improve each other's lives, not just be friends. Let's seek for how we can be better. Let's be able to improve our lives. Let's us add value to each other's lives, not just or hang out and all that. No. So adult friendship is hard, but it's possible to make friends as adults, good friends, and keep such friendships. It's very hard, but it's possible. Like you may make 20 attempts, and out of that 20, you only get one friend. But it doesn't mean that you should stop trying. Keep trying to make that friend. You never know where you will meet someone and you will just click with that person. You never know where you will meet someone and you will click. That is why it's good to be your true authentic self, because when you're your true authentic self, people that relate or align with your true self will gravitate towards you. But when you are, I don't want to use fake, but when you have a facade around you, you will not get the true authentic people who like you for who you are. All right. So I'm done with my skincare. Like I finished my skincare a long time ago, right? But I've enjoyed this conversation, and I think I'd like to take it further in my next life. But in the meantime, if there are any topics you want us to talk about, you want me to talk about, please feel free to drop it in the comments, or send me a message if you know me personally, and we'll talk about it, okay? And this is just a build-up for something my friend and I have in the works that we're working towards, but when the time is right, we would announce it. Anyway, thank you all. I just want to thank you all, especially my friends. And I do not take it lightly when I say friends, because I know the meaning now and the difference. For joining my life, thank you, and I'll see you when I see you. If you're new here, subscribe to my channel and stay safe. God loves you. Bye.